Hello everyone, I'm Cloud and welcome to Anime no Mi. Today we're going to talk about one of the great Yonkas, the one who took the power and life of the most powerful man in the world and who caused a great scar in the eyes of the most mysterious of sea emperors, how Blackbeard got the power of 2 devil fruits and how it can interfere in the future of the whole One Piece and also in Luffy's dreams. So I count on your support to leave your like in today's video to help the channel. I also hope you can help us by subscribing to the channel. Now let's go to the video. Guys, as we know, Blackbeard is one of the most powerful characters in One Piece today and also one of the biggest future opponents of Luffy. After all, we know that he's already eyeing the Straw Hat Pirate. But what is the true source of his powers? For as far as we know, all the strength he possesses came from a previous plane, including having more than 1 devil fruit and also which devil fruit he would use. Before he had his first power, Marshall already knew that could have the strength of more than 1 fruit. After all, we know that the future Yonka's confrontation style changed completely after he got his Yami no Mi. Even so, he hinted that in his encounter with the future Yonko, Shanks, he had already devised his entire plan. That's because in the prologue of Luffy's journey as a pirate, when he wanted to be part of Shanks' crew, even before he became one of the great Yonkas, the red hair already had that scar in his eye. That scar was caused by the pirate who would in the future be known as the Great Blackbeard, and from that time on, the pirate who inspired Luffy already imagined that that opponent would do great things in the future. And the proof of this really happened 10 years after Shanks ended up letting Luffy eat the Goma no Mi, when the red hair decided to talk to Edward Newgate, Whitebeard, and this about his former subordinate, who at that time was being pursued by Ace. Shanks said that even though he lost his arm, what was most painful for him were the scars on his face, which were caused by Whitebeard's former subordinate. That moment, he couldn't be stopped. Not only that, but the red hair knew that Marshall had been planning something for many years, and he was hiding behind the name of his captain Edward Newgate, the strongest man in the world. And we know he's really planning something big, but it's not our main focus in today's video, but what he's already put into practice his decade-long plan, where even in Shirohide's crew I had thought of the day of his end. That's because we go back to the past, where after reading about the Yami no Mi, Teach would have taken for granted that it was the most powerful devil fruit of all time, and started looking for this fruit to start his plans, and even joined the crew of Whitebeard to have more chances to find the fruit. We don't know the reason for his fixation on that fruit, but we do know that it really was possibly the only way for him to accomplish his goals and achieve the power he wanted, even with the possibility of his battle against Shanks and the revelation of his plans being discovered by Red Hair. After all, Shanks knew more about Teach than anyone else, trying to warn Newgate about him. However, if we stop to think, maybe Blackbeard himself revealed his goals. After all, the Red Hair had the Goma no Mi in his hand, which is a fruit until similar to what Teach wanted, and maybe he went to check it against Shanks. But the main thing is, he after a while got the devil fruit that he wanted, being the only power he wanted, and that was through the commander of the 4th Division, which was later commanded by Ace. Marshall belonged to that division, and in the end, he took his commander's life to keep the fruit he found. As we know, the Yami no Mi, the focus of Teach's desire, has an almost absolute power when it comes to devil fruit. After all, it is capable of completely nullifying the powers of a fruit, but not simply preventing the user from using it. It practically makes it momentarily seem like your opponent never had that power. But most importantly, after getting that power, he went to the second part of his plan, awaiting the end of the life of his old captain, the one he called father, and in the end, getting the second power he wanted, the Gura no Mi. So everything indicates that basically the Yami no Mi was the main key to get that second power inside that cover where he hid what he did with Edward Newgate, and there are many possibilities of what was done inside there. There is simply the possibility that the Gura no Mi has been coupled to Yami no Mi, but in this case there would be no reason for all that mystery. The second possibility is that it has interrupted and defined the origin of the return of the fruit. As we know, when a devil fruit user loses his life, a random fruit becomes that fruit, in which case he may have simply made the fruit come with him. But that's not the important thing at the moment, but as he survived the power of 2 fruits. After all, as we know, a person's body is not able to withstand the powers of 2 devil fruit. When they come into conflict, they just end up coming to an end the life of the one who tried to eat 2 fruits. But Teach is really able to do that, and according to Marco, this thanks to the structure of his body. After all, we see that during chapter 577 of the manga, the way Marco said that for a normal human it was impossible to eat more than 1 devil fruit no Mi, but Teach had a different body, and I checked some translations and they basically all say the same thing. Also, when the Straw Hats met that pirate during his search for Skypiea, we could see that Teach said his drink was bad, while Luffy thought it was very good, but a short time later, we saw that the pirate said it tasted good or special, but as if that was your opinion from the beginning. Also, when Nami talked about him, Luffy and Zoro said that Teach wasn't just him, but that pirate was more than one person. It turns out that chapter 650 changes the course of everything a bit, where it was said that the Blackbeard pirates themselves were able to remove devil fruit from their opponents and take it for themselves, and we were never told if it is really necessary to teach presents for that, as Burgess hinted that he would take Sabo's fruit by himself, but we're not sure if he managed to win, he would take Sabo to teach to get the fruit. After all, right now, they are looking to have the greatest devil fruit power in the world, getting the most powerful of them all, but at the same time, we were never told if anyone besides Teach, who in this case is part of their crew, use more than one power. However, with Teach the question of his body seemed to come and before he got his devil fruit, and that's from what Marco had said, and now let's get to the point of what that phrase meant. Many say that he may have eaten a devil fruit in the past, that it would go from Cerberus to Chimera, and that this would allow him to possess the power of more than one devil fruit. After all, Cerberus would be a giant three-headed dog, while the Chimera would be the joining of more than one being. But now let's go back to the fact that if everything really was possible thanks to the powers of Yami Yami no Mi, then it's back to the point that Teach knew too much about this fruit. He soon knew how to use the power of the devil fruit to the fullest, which he himself told Newgate. So it could be that this went far beyond simply reading about it. Possibly, he would have found out about the appearance of that fruit, but he would have already encountered it and discovered its potential in the past, perhaps even having this change in his body thanks to Shi. After all, Oda has already drawn Teach in the past, and in that image he was crying for some reason. Not only that, but they say that the theory I mentioned earlier about Cerberus and Chimera is related to Blackbeard's family. After all, in a draft was revealed his two sisters, and Ace was shocked to discover something about them. Because one thing is certain, in the world of One Piece it's naturally impossible to get the power of two devil fruits. Basically, with all the indications we saw in the video, a person would need to be more than one person, just so that person's body will be able to support two fruits. So we don't know exactly the method used by Teach to accomplish his goal and get the two most powerful devil fruit. After all, he had already said that he needed these two powers to become invincible. But we know what he apparently can't do. The Gura Gura was apparently the last devil fruit he could possess, and we also know that the difference he hides in his body was how he managed to withstand these two powers without losing his life. But I believe that everything revolves around the power of the Yami Yami no Mi. After all, we see how it is able to interfere with the power of a devil fruit to the point of removing its power temporarily, and perhaps taking the life of its user. He is able to remove the power completely, so he is getting the most powerful fruits in the world for his crew, while the secrets of his body that differs from other people allows him to survive more than one devil fruit, which also references the three heads on his flag. But in this case it would also indicate that he either has a third fruit or can be looking for the ultimate fruit to complete your plan. In any case, we see that the manga indicates how to have more than one devil fruit, that is, something related to his body, but we don't know how to have the body that supports the powers of this fruit. And we know that Teach has his eye on Luffy, not his Goma Goma no Mi, but he has what it takes to become the biggest obstacle for the Straw Hat to become the king of pirates. Even the way Newgate remembered Roger and his desire after Teach's attack, and as Shanks has a past connection with the villain, and likewise expects something from Luffy in the future. But comment, what do you think about all this? Don't forget to leave your likes in the video to help the channel, and also subscribe if you're still new here. The channel is new and needs your help. Thank you so much for watching our video so far. Your support is very important. See you in the next video. Bye.